Nick, you got something to add before we kick this off?
No, we should absolutely get into it. We're starting here on Jules Vale between Cake and Xaro. This is one of those smaller stages where these players can really take their punish game to the limit. And like you kind of hinted at earlier, Brozo, we do tend to see CakeAssault. He starts with the Force Burn in this matchup, but do not be surprised to see Zeta Burn come out like Game 2 or Game 3 as the set progresses.
Right. And it's going to be kind of interesting to see how like the sequencing like happens with the stage positioning, because we see time and time again Xaro actually use that rotating platform there to actually get the extensions he needs to get those high back airs that he just really, really loves with Arcane. So I'm kind of curious to see how much he plays around that, forcing his combo to one side of the stage or the other. But by doing that, you do give up a little bit of control on that. So now you see Cake back in control here.
Xaro in the corner, fighting his way back, using that puddle. That droplet ends up helping Xaro so much, not just as a neutral tool, but as another way to clear the smoke and control the ledge. Now, especially with that bubble trap, means he doesn't need to keep track of which one the clone is.
And there's that platform save there.
Gets rid of the smoke. It's going to be hit away, though. He has to get rid of the smoke so that Force Burn can't renew his up either.
Not quite at a percentage where that down strong just kills outright. Still in a really great position here. Yep, straight up.
With the down strong, close the stock out.
Evens it up right afterwards with an up air of his own.
And that's kind of the set you expect between these two, where like if somebody gets an extended advantage, that could be your cue that one game's going to go one way or the other. But I really feel like for the most part, this is probably going to be a very, very close set all the way through. If this isn't a game 5, I'll be surprised.
Ooh, great teleport to that smoke. Let's Cake just dodge that edge guard and get himself reestablished on stage.
Yeah, over the years, the biggest thing we've seen with Force Burn is a lot of players have figured out just how to punish his recovery. It seems like each time I see CakeAssault, he's spending more and more time off stage, but when he is playing well, he's able to mix it up and really get on the offensive.
I think his exact quote was when Force Burn's recovery got bust was, "Great, now I have one more option before somebody parries me." Ooh, nice nair bounce there. And that's something you've actually kind of seen be used a little more often recently, thanks to like people like Fullstream starting to lab out stuff like that. Obviously, Xaro pretty well controlled this character as well, but when you start to see some new stuff pop up, eventually you're just like, oh man, I should be doing that. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Every little mix-up for actually both of these characters to just make it back on stage is such a huge deal, because otherwise they can get kind of flow-charted hard if they're not careful.
Oh, big down air. Cake in a really strong position right now. Kind of gives it up instead to maintain smokes across the stream. Good call.
Oh, you saw Xaro was just a little bit too late to catch Cake in that teleport. I wonder if Xaro is consciously leaving some smoke patches open so that he can call out Cake for trying to retreat to that one that's left.
Well, that's kind of the issue with where it's positioned right now, is there's too much. Like, he needs to pop like a bubble there to try to clear up a little bit of vertical space.
Wow.
But even then, still going to be able to control that. There's not a lot of room for him. The way Cake was positioned there right next to that, the puddle, meant that the front of the down strong hits if he tries to recover back on the stage, and then the back of the down strong hit if he goes to the puddle. Great positioning from Cake to start this set off.
Yeah, taking the first game, very, very good start for CakeAssault, because that means that he's going to have himself the counter pick advantage going forward, which is both for the stage, and then additionally, he still has the Zeta Burn in the back in case Xaro starts to make the right adjustments in order to start beating him.
And historically, I don't have like the exact notes on it, but typically I feel like Xaro wins game 1, forces Cake into Zeta game 2, and then ends up being able to like squeeze out a victory in game 4 or game 5, because at that point he already has the pick advantage in his back pocket. We do see him return to Jules Vale, so I'm a little bit interested to see like how this changed a little bit, because it really seemed at one point that Cake locked things down on the right side of the screen and there was just no escape for him at that point. There's too much of a deficit percentage-wise, but let's see how game 2 starts off.
Yeah, Arcane's a character too where you can see in a lot of matchups his recovery just getting, punished hard. Xaro, on the one hand though, is like I rarely see him like getting caught for too long off stage. He's really good at keeping his options open and keeping the puddle on the opposite side of the stage when he needs it as kind of like that get out of jail free card.
Absolutely. Wow, what a turnaround here for Xaro. I mean, this was an incredible start for Cake. Missed a dash attack through a roll sequence there just because of the extension of the invincibility frames. It could have been I don't know how close that was to pixel perfect on that down air, but it seems pretty close.
And like that was, I think, to catch like an orchid jump by Xaro to just sneak onto that platform, so he wouldn't have to deal with the offstage game. CakeAssault calling that. Oh, the bubble stops the galaxy.
Bubble negating the galaxy.
Yep. Okay. Hey man, frame 7. Just do it sometimes.
He got a good amount of percent though after that bubble, so extra life.
And Cake hanging back, just setting up a little bit of smoke to hide in, wait for his opening.
That was so smart too, to have that the clone sit there and take the bubble so you could just parry the side hit of it. I don't know. This feels really good for Cake. I don't normally see him do this well against Xaro in the initial games. Normally he gets like a turnaround after like one Zetter game. But I mean, this seems like it's really, really going to be going well for him right now.
Yeah, he's playing out of his mind right now.
Just careful drift there to barely avoid the back air. Xaro having stage only one little bit of smoke left for CakeAssault. This could be leverage into a really serious stock.
Strong sequence here to kind of level this back out. Doesn't get to the puddle, and doesn't get to the cloud, and that's huge.
That's really nice
connection.
That is something that Jackie and Wisely were talking about earlier. You always have to be careful of the Arcane F-tilt in the direction of the puddle. That confirm is right around the corner.
All right, big back air here.
He was fishing a little bit at the end of that second stock, and Xaro made him pay.
How many times have we seen this, guys? Last stock of the game, combust online, and the Cake just starts to swallow his opponent whole.
Especially, like, Cake with the confidence he has to go for those combust reads, it can pay off so often for him. But Xaro being Arcane, he's a little bit heavier off the side, and he might not even matter. Okay, it's not going to be kill off the side, just that belly flop spike.
Watch it here. Great uppy there.
Yeah. No puddle on stage, though.
Gotta be careful. Fair dash attack. Oh!
That combust as just a big hitbox option was nuts.
The fact that he had like a confirm afterwards too, it didn't quite take it to a kill, but that parry is going to do the trick. CakeAssault up 2-0 against Xaro, who is again the favorite to win this tournament before this weekend. Xaro, after running through the stats for the RCS events and the ROCS events, he was positive against everybody except Blue, who he was 0-3 against, and he was even against Sego at 1-1. Positive against everybody else. So for him to go out at 7th would be a huge shocker. Considering he's been placing top 3 in basically everything for almost the past like year and a half or so, this would be absolutely maddening.
Listen, all I'm saying is I have claimed CakeAssault as my direct lineage multiple times, giving my prowess in the game to him genetically, which is why I'm not here for these. But as the degenerate gambler that I am, I also had Xaro on my fantasy team over CakeAssault. So, mixed messages aside, let's go, son. Let's do it. We see Xaro going to Air Armada here. I actually like this switch up a lot. The way he's going to be able to use bubbles to patrol that range right below those 2 tall platforms is going to be a really great positioning tool.
And I think the fact that the platforms are also consistently going to be over both ends of the stage might also help just a little bit in terms of establishing himself. Because otherwise, on Jules Vale, you kind of had to really hope that his puddle was on the other side of the screen as his recovery and stuff. Any little bit helps.
The big thing I've noticed is that you haven't seen Cake get hit by the puddle-assisted the Strongs, though, and that's huge for getting those early stocks, or even taking Forsburn further away from the stage to where, like, Cake just can't recover. So, like, that's something we haven't seen. Even they're missing on it, too. Like, he just seems ready for it.
Wow, yeah, twice in a row. Both of those tech chases, CakeAssault able to outsmart and find his counter hits, too. Gets the clone only, but gets the second down strong.
That strong's, it's a pretty good attack. I really like, just Arcane in general.
It's 7 frames of perfect. It's 1 frame for every letter of the word perfect, I'm telling you.
Yeah, we just need to give it to Iro, and then maybe I could win a workshop match.
Or at least win one within, like, 25 minutes, right?
Yeah, well, just win in general. I went 0-2, so, I'm still salty.
So we're going for the fastball through the platform to try to mix up, but Cake can still cover that. So finally gets an opening. 88%, starts up an edge guard, and those bubbles are just going to be such a menace.
And see, that is one of those situations where he might just miss out on taking that a little bit further. That down strong actually hit Cake out of his double jump, so had a really great position on it, but just couldn't follow up on it correctly. And not good DI. I'm just gonna say it. Not good DI right there.
No one expects the jab 3.
I actually forget that Forward Thrown has that move sometimes because they're usually jabbed it up. It's like, Chase, is he dead?
Oh my god!
Xaro finds the down air, wins 3-0 over Xaro, ending his finals run. Xaro getting 7th in an online event. I never thought I'd see the day.
Not only that, we were still talking about the jab 3 as Cake closed out that stock, and Xaro was already at like 70-something%. So like, he literally just deleted the last stock like instantaneously.
Wow. Guys, you know, GPIC pointed it out, the intro video pointed it out as well. Cake hasn't won a major. GPIC and I were talking last night, we're going over a little bit of the bracket, a little bit of the history of everything. I said, without any logic, without any reasoning, and he called me out for it too, I said I feel like Cake's going to win. I don't have a reason to say Cake's going to win, but I have a feeling that Cake's going to win. He still has to get past Kusi, which is going to be a huge hurdle for him given his history so far this year. But it just feels like it's finals, it's Sunday, it's CakeAssault. Like, it just all seems to fall into place, like gears in a watch, slowly turning as Cake marches for closer and closer to grand finals. I don't know what's going to stop him, besides maybe his internet connection.